So, here on set, got the next weekend coming up, and that's going to be our next proper set building weekend. Definitely got some challenges. You can see behind me the first part of the corridor has been done. We're using that as like a test device, so not just and how that was built, but also the set dressing inside of it, materials used, costs, all that kind of stuff. And then also put lots of pictures up now, so all the stuff that I was collecting on the internet, putting on Facebook for everyone to see, etc., has now been printed off, courtesy of my laser printer at home. And now it's on boards, just on big bits of cardboard that we can move around and show people. And already, just by having them up, it's made life a little bit easier. Suddenly, I'm starting to see all the ideas that I've got about how I want it to look, sort of like in front of me. And hopefully, when people come on set the weekend, it will be in front of them too, and that will help with the building process. It's funny, all the time that I'm going through this sort of production process, I'm thinking about what's the weakest link. Always about the weakest link, and you sort of bringing everything up to the same sort of level. It's not even about spinning plates, because they're all spinning, it's just they're spinning at different rates, and it's making them all the same. And then when one starts to, or rather things start to move ahead, it leaves something behind, and it's bringing that one up. And every day that changes, continuously spinning in my brain. So, for example, yesterday I was having real problems with storylines, like, oh, what's going on now? I still need some help with that. I still need some help with where it's going. At the moment, the story is that they start off on the salvage ship and then they go on to the drift, and they go back on the salvage ship and back on the drift, like sort of to and fro. That's no good. So they need to have some of the holding area. So, okay, so I think about, well, they could go to the residence hive or hovel or whatever, and then that has its own set of problems because they've got to build one. So trying to keep it simple is one thing, but keeping the story interesting as well, and doing it all on set. Having said all that, all those challenges so far, it's still much better for the type of production group that we are to have the challenge of having to build an extra set and the cost that comes with that than it is about getting a whole bunch of volunteers to a location, etc. I think that's what makes us different, so that's a really good thing. So yeah, it's production design is another issue now. We've started to look at look and feel of some of the corridors and stuff, and availability of the production designer is not good. So what do I do about that? You know, we've got people coming in who are happy to build and do stuff, but they need direction. So it's trying to get them to give us some sort of direction or find someone else. That's difficult. Another weak area at the moment. And the overriding deadline, which is this has all got to be done by, has to be done by Christmas. The whole set building, at least the set building, has to be finished by Christmas. That has to be done. There will be building after that, of course, as always is. You always keep going. It's like I'd say the time work continuum. You always use all the time you have to keep going. But that notwithstanding, deadlines are firm at the end of Christmas. And dressing to start before then and continue through into the new year. So yeah, it's difficult. Having said all that, we are ahead of the game. We've just had a weekend where one of our set builders, R2 Phil, just said, "Oh, you're available at the weekend." He's come up, and he's built some more bits and bobs. In fact, when our main lead set builder, Big Phil, came in and built us that corridor in the first place, the green screens, that wasn't expected to happen until the first sort of set building weekend. We've not even had that yet. We haven't actually had our first proper set building weekend, and yet this is where we're already at. So we are ahead of the game. It's not being pessimistic to always think about the weakest link. That is the job of the producer, is what's holding you up? What is the thing that's going to let you down? You need to think about that and then take positive action. And there'll always be something. There's always something that's the weakest link. It's like the news. There's always bad news happening somewhere. They'll find it and tell you what it is. And that's the same with this. There's always something that's holding up the production. The key is just to bring it up and not to panic about it. Just deal with it when it comes up. So I have to say, it's all actually coming together quite nicely. Just keeping on top of it. So yeah, it's good. It's good.